Money. Just one word, but it holds so much weight. For Gen Z, it's more than just currency. It's safety, identity, independence, and often, it's anxiety. If you've ever laid awake worrying about rent, debt, or how long 1743 can stretch, this video is for you. Welcome to Quiet Lanterns, where we bring light to the struggles too many of us face in silence. Today, we're talking about one of the biggest mental health challenges facing young adults in 2025, and almost no one's talking about it: the intersection of financial stress and mental wellness. Because here's the truth: your money and your mind are connected, deeply, emotionally, and biologically. And if you're part of Gen Z, you've likely felt it. You're not just dealing with rising costs. You're managing student loans that feel unpayable, social pressure to succeed by 25 side hustles that leave you burnt out, and a world where self-care is marketed as something you need to buy. It's a lot, but you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not broken. Let's talk about what's really going on. Money isn't just about numbers. It's about emotions, about feeling secure or unsafe, empowered or helpless, ahead or behind. Most of us weren't taught how to manage money. We were just thrown into a system: jobs, bills, taxes, credit scores, and told to figure it out. But when you don't have the tools, financial stress becomes emotional trauma. And that trauma, it doesn't sit quietly. It shows up as panic attacks after opening your banking app, guilt after every purchase, even the necessary ones, shame when you're not where you should be financially, and a constant gnawing sense that you're not enough. This is called financial anxiety, and Gen Z is feeling it harder than any generation before. In fact, studies show 72% of Gen Z report feeling anxious about money most of the time. Those in debt are 3 times more likely to suffer from depression and anxiety. Financial insecurity is now one of the top contributors to poor sleep, substance use, and suicidal ideation among young adults. So no, you're not just bad with money. You're living inside a system that's made it emotionally exhausting to survive. But let's go deeper. When your brain senses financial danger, like a low bank balance or missed bill, it triggers your fight or flight system. Adrenaline and cortisol spike. Your body prepares for crisis. But here's the problem: there's no actual lion to run from. It's just life, rent, debt, groceries, and it doesn't stop. So your nervous system stays activated, constantly. Over time, this leads to chronic anxiety, burnout, sleep issues, irritability, low motivation, decision fatigue. It becomes harder to plan, to focus, to make smart money choices. And that's the trap. You feel bad about money, stress increases, you make anxious financial decisions, things get worse, and your mental health suffers. This is the vicious cycle of financial anxiety. And then, there's social media. Let's be real. You scroll for 5 minutes and see 22-year-olds buying Teslas, influencers traveling the world, crypto bros flashing 6-figure screenshots, people your age retiring early, and what do you feel? Behind, broken, like you're failing. But here is the reality: you're seeing the highlight reel and not the full story. Most of what's posted is exaggerated, financed by debt, or totally fake. Still, the comparison sticks, and it messes with your mental health. Psychologists call it financial FOMO, the fear that you're falling behind financially while everyone else is winning. It causes impulse buying just to feel included, depression when you can't keep up, shame that turns into silence, and a loss of self-worth that can spiral. The pressure to perform, to look successful, happy, and wealthy is suffocating, and that pressure has a cost. So how do you know if you're dealing with financial anxiety? Here are some signs you might recognize. You avoid checking your bank account. Unexpected bills send you into panic. You feel guilty spending money, even on essentials. You stay silent about debt, even with close friends. Your sleep is trash because your brain won't stop worrying. You avoid making plans because you can't afford them. You use online shopping or food delivery to escape stress. You feel like a failure for not having figured it out. Sound familiar? If it does, take a deep breath. You're not broken. You're responding exactly how a human would in an overwhelming world. But here's the good news. You can take your power back. Even if you're broke. Even if you're drowning in loans. Even if you don't know where to start. Let's talk solutions. Simple, small, effective things you can do starting now. First, get radically honest. Don't hide from your finances. Write down your numbers: income, expenses, debts, subscriptions. Clarity reduces fear. When you know your baseline, your brain calms down. Next, start micro-saving. Even $1 or $2 a day. It's not about the amount. It's about building trust with yourself. You're proving every day that you're showing up for your future. Create a bare minimum budget. What's the least you need to survive? Shelter, food, Wi-Fi, basic bills. This helps your brain feel safe, even in chaos. Reframe your money story. You are not behind. You are not your paycheck. You are not your credit score. You are not a failure. Say it with me. I am allowed to grow slowly. Then, set emotional boundaries. Mute or unfollow anyone who makes you feel less than. Replace those accounts with financial educators, mental health advocates, and creators who normalize slow growth, healing, and budgeting. Talk about it. Shame thrives in silence. Tell a friend. Join a forum. Even say it out loud. I'm anxious about money, and I want to change that. Lastly, focus on regulated spending. Before buying, pause. Ask, is this calming me or numbing me? Choose what brings lasting peace, not temporary dopamine. Let's get real for a moment. Meet Maya, 24. She works 2 jobs, shares an apartment with roommates, and gets panic attacks before every rent payment. Last month, she started tracking her expenses and journaling her anxiety. She's still broke, but she's no longer drowning. Meet Jalen, 22. Dropped out of college, felt like a failure, started following real financial educators online. Now he's saving $50 a month from freelance gigs, and he feels proud. Meet Aisha, 26, hid her $8,000 credit card debt for years. Once she opened up to her therapist, she cried, then created a plan. Now she's paying $100 off each month, and her anxiety has dropped. These aren't stories of overnight success. They're stories of real resilience. Because peace doesn't come from money, it comes from safety, from emotional grounding, and that's where we start. Self-care isn't luxury candles and bubble baths. For Gen Z, financial self-care is saying no to things you can't afford, setting auto-pay so you don't spiral, having a fun money budget so you don't binge spend, taking breaks from job searching when your mental health dips, celebrating small wins like, I checked my account and didn't panic. You don't need more hustle. You need more healing. So what does a mentally healthy relationship with money look like? It looks like checking your balance without fear, talking about money without shame, having $12 to your name and still knowing your worth, feeling safe even when things are tight. This is financial resilience. It doesn't mean you never stress. It means you trust yourself to face the stress with tools, support, and self-compassion. You are more than your balance, more than your bills, more than your past mistakes, and your healing starts now. If this message hit home for you, stay with us. This is only the beginning. Drop a comment saying, I'm ready. If you're starting your journey today, subscribe to Quiet Lanterns for more videos on mental health, financial wellness, anxiety relief, emotional healing, and mindful living. You deserve peace, you deserve rest, you deserve to feel okay, even when life is messy. Money matters, mental health matters, and you matter most of all. Keep your lantern lit.